because that's what I do.
No.
Hey, who turned the heat off?
What?
It's ridiculous.
Oh, I thought
Cold.
you really meant. Yeah.
I moved to North Carolina to get rid of the cold, get away from the cold. This is horrible.
It's BS. My face is chapped. I have chapped eyeballs. My eyeballs. I was complaining yesterday. I said my eyeballs hurt so bad.
She did.
They're dry. I was miserable.
So, I have to apologize, folks, because it's been a day. It's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy 3 weeks, and I literally just had to run back to the house. And it's not like it's a half a mile away, but it's far enough away to piss me off. And it's cold outside, but we had some stuff that we received by way of the Postal Service a couple days ago. Not from the it was sent via the Postal Service from Northfin. We want to talk about that stuff in a little bit. It's exciting. They've got some new stuff, and
I'm eating my dinner while we're streaming.
one of them has the name of one of our friends on it. And yeah, we'll talk about that. But we also have a guest with us tonight, and he's actually already here. His shot is amazing. But I'm not going to bring you up yet, guest, because we got some things to talk about first, and then you all will get to see our guest. You all know who he is, but it would be interesting if you started taking guesses. I'd like to do that, because I have a couple things to talk about real quick before we bring him on, and I would love to see if the people can guess, and I will tell you, I'll give you a little bit of a cheat code here. It's not Joey. It's not Jason. Who else are people going to automatically guess? It's not Corey. There you go. It's not Jay. Jay was just on, Janice. Jay was on, was that last weekend? 2 weeks ago.
No, last week was Cichlid Charmer.
Last week was Cichlid Charmer. That was fun.
It's not Aquarium Talk TV.
It is not Gordon, indeed. Going to be checking out that podcast, Gordon. Waiting for my invite. But anyway, listen. Hey, how are people guessing it all? Oh, I know why. Because he shared it.
Ah,
See,
that's so funny.
I'm so dumb. Yeah, it is definitely Caveman. He's here, but I'm going to make him wait a little bit because I have to talk about something. I sent out an email a couple of days ago. Folks, as far as our business goes, this has been the worst. Is it in the description? Oh, I'm so stupid. What a terrible idea to see if people could guess that it's him. I sent out an email a few days ago to all of the keepfishkeeping.com customers explaining the month we've had. 2 weeks in a row, we were not able to ship fish or plants. Fish, we don't ship those anyway.
Yeah,
but we were
not fish.
We were not able to ship plants or snails. And it's because Christmas fell on a Wednesday, New Year's fell on a Wednesday, post office is closed on those days. If we ship out plants or snails on Monday, they're guaranteed to sit a day longer than they should, and we didn't want to do that. So we postponed shipping. I put a thing on the homepage of the website, still there, to let everybody know about that. And our plan was we were going to ship all of the plants and snail orders on Monday. All weekend we were gearing up. We were like, okay, it's going to be a crazy day on Monday.
I've been taking care of all y'all snails, feeding them, and just making them happy and everything. Even though they could have been technically sent out a week or two ago, I'm still feeding your snails.
Then the storm. The storm happened, which didn't hit us other than the cold. How dare you be so cold here in North Carolina? It really, really bothers me. It's never been this cold since we've lived down here.
And the wind.
The wind is a nightmare. It's terrible. It's horrible. But half of the country was shut down because of that blizzard. We were getting pictures from people all over the country that have like 2 feet of snow, and we're like, okay, we can't ship fish. We're still not shipping fish. Can't ship snails or plants on Monday. We'll ship them all on Tuesday. And then what did you find out on Tuesday? Right when we were starting to pack.
I don't know if it was like already said prior to that, but I just happened to be looking at breaking news. So possibly it was just said, I don't know. But the Postal Service is closed on Thursday. And I I said, oh, why? And I'm like looking up all these holidays and stuff, and then I find out it was because of the president.
President Carter,
Yeah.
So
Which makes complete sense, you know, out of respect and all that, but dang.
it doesn't make sense why the post office would be closed that day. And I don't know, but
Maybe all the postal workers wanted to go to the funeral.
Lisa's microphone is not on. Sure it is. It's the only person to say that. Talk. Can people hear Lisa?
Can you hear me?
It's on
Can
perfectly
you
here.
Me chewing?
Yeah, that's probably.
Sorry.
Maybe this person meant to say, turn off Lisa's microphone.
Oh. It's
Lisa's
on
low.
low.
No, it shouldn't be.
Sound is odd.
I mean,
Now y'all gonna regret it because he turned me up.
I don't know what else to do other than turn you up, and your laugh is so loud you're gonna end up clipping. You sound hollow, like it's going through a PC or a sound cancellation. I know why. I'm so not a professional. Okay, how about now?
Can you hear me now?
I bet it's a whole lot different now.
Wow.
I hate my job sometimes. I hate how bad I am at my job sometimes.
Is that from when you did the member stream and you turned my mic off or something?
No, we don't need to talk about it anymore, okay?
All right. Whatever.
I did use a different microphone for the member stream that we did last week, and I feel like an idiot now. I am the most unprofessional person.
Member stream. Didn't you
that.
stream for like 4 hours last week?
It was a very long stream for the members last week. We installed 2 canister filters on this and 2 circulation pumps, one of which is behind Lisa's head that is not turned on because as we were doing this live in front of, there was probably, I think maybe 60, 70,000 people in there.
Oh, probably at least. I could barely mod.
Because
I wasn't there.
Substrate was blowing everywhere, and that's true. Not the 60,000 part, but the substrate was blowing all over the place. It was a disaster, but it was a lot of fun. Hung out for like 3 hours.
Okay. Oh, there's paper cuts.
And I used what you doing? Paper cuts? What?
I don't know. Sorry.
I used a different microphone because I was walking around and I forgot to switch it back. So I'm a big dumb idiot. Fire me. How about that?
Don't have to do everything.
So anyway, and you will not like that. So we didn't get to ship snails or plants again this week. If you are someone who's watching right now and you are a plant or snail customer, understand if your order has not moved, because we printed out all the labels, but if it hasn't moved according to the post office, or you haven't gotten a notification yet that we are shipping your plants or snails, they will go out on Monday. Monday is going to be an even worse day than it was supposed to be this last Monday. Between Monday and Tuesday, we're going to get everything out and finally be able to take a deep breath. So there you go. I'm done with all of these announcements. I'm over talking about it. It's kind of getting old now. So I'm still kind of upset about the microphone thing, if I'm being honest with you. So
I'm over it.
Rather than, okay, let's do this. Let's talk about this. We do have Caveman Aquatics on with us. Kev, get ready because we're coming to you in a minute. We also have the true or false question that is up at the top of your, no, don't end the poll. It's up at the top or at the bottom of your chat, or it's somewhere in your chat. Fish won't eat their fry. True, false, or depends on the fish. Her idea on that one again. Don't forget to participate in that. We'll go over that later on. We do have a Rate My Tank today, which I have not watched because it's been a day. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, you haven't pre-watched?
I watched like 30 seconds of it to make sure it
Nice.
wasn't like a video of a guy's butt or something.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Just to make sure it's...
I get those videos all the time. People send me videos of their butts. I don't know why.
That's weird.
It was a joke.
Oh.
But I do want to make sure it's not something weird. But once I see that it's not weird, I let it go. And so we're going to be doing that. And to show you how much of a professional I am, I don't even know the name of the person, but I'll find out. At least
make sure
I hope.
I just want you to click the right thing this time.
I know which one it is because these are all Kev's videos here.
You really need to bring your old man glasses in here. Your specs.
It's not a matter of not being able to see it. Listen, I had to pick up plants today, 2 days in a row. Had to go to the airport, which is an hour and a half away. Supposed to pick them all up yesterday, but they were delayed. One of them was delayed. So I had to go up today, and the second day in a row. By the time I got home, had to put them all away, and I finished like 45 minutes ago. So it's not been fun at all. But they're all going to be on the site very soon, and we'll be good to go there. So I finished up with that. I ran and threw a frozen pizza down my throat, and now I'm here. So that's why everything's in disarray. Sorry.
I had a fish emergency today, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
You can't. Well, yeah, we don't want to keep Kate
Not
waiting.
right now.
You can talk about that. Yeah, this was a pretty significant emergency, and she handled it quite well.
I know. I even recorded it.
See, as I sit here, I'm getting emails. How long does it take before the order is going to ship out and stuff? I'm not trying to be a jerk, but this is why we send out the emails. This is why we put it on the homepage, and this is why I talk about it here, because hopefully the person who just sent me that email might be watching. I think they're probably not, because if they were, they would have heard me say that. Anyway, before I make myself look like even more of a jerk, I want to bring up, you are unmuted, Kev. You're not on camera yet, so don't fart or burp or anything yet until we bring you up, because I don't want you to embarrass yourself like I'm doing to myself. But last time I saw this gentleman in person was in the great state of New York.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
At Fins and Fury. He was not participating in the event, which is probably good for whoever he would have been up against, because he's one of those guys you just wouldn't want to mess with. I don't know. I mean, stand next to him and you'll know what I'm talking about. Caveman Aquatics, let me push the button here, is with us today. Speak to us so that we can actually hear you.
Hello, everybody. Hopefully I sound good. How do I sound?
Oh,
You do sound good.
your tanks look
Great.
so good.
I'm
Thank
sure
you.
you
Thank you
sound a
very much.
lot
Thank you.
better.
I'm very used to always asking, the very first thing I do is, how is the audio? How is the video? Because John, you're not alone. My streams are full of gremlins plenty of times. My people know that. I got plenty of hiccups all the time. I'm not an equipment guy, so things happen on my end as well. So I forgive you.
Listen, I am the king of technical difficulties, and I'll say it to your face. There's no way you have more technical difficulties. And the thing is, all of my struggles are my own fault. I just, I push the wrong buttons. I forget to set things. It's just
Puts the wrong things on the screen.
yeah, put our personal
Don't worry.
information.
Yeah, I do the same thing. And sometimes I'm trying to figure it out while being live, and I'm like, there's a dead silence for 10 seconds. That's not, feels like it's like 10 minutes, I know all about those too. I know.
Yeah, it is. It's frustrating, and when you have thousands and thousands of people watching, like we both do when we do our live streams, hundreds of thousands.
On replay.
It's
I don't have that
pretty-
many. John. I don't have that many.
Well, someday maybe you will, but no, I don't either. I just like to say I do so people think I'm important. But like right now, we've got 37,000 people watching. So
Really? That's great. Nice.
No,
I didn't
it's
think so.
not that.
It's just 20.
I see the number. I got gremlins, but I know how to work the machine,
Yeah, it's significantly lower than that, but it's fun to joke about it. So, as I said, last time I saw you was in New York. It was not cold. What have you been up to?
Yeah, it wasn't cold.
Creating content, man. Creating content, diving into the saltwater world a little bit here and there, learning a whole new journey, dealing with a whole new community.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How has that worked out for you? I saw the one video clip you sent me has a Emperor Angel in it. That made me a little upset because I lost mine. But how is that treating you so far, saltwater?
It's treating me great. I mean, the saltwater world is treating me a lot better than I think. I won't say most of the community, but there's a big faction of the community over there that is like, hey, caveman. Stay in your freshwater lane. You shouldn't be telling people how to do this. You just started. And I'm kind of in the lane of like, hey, I've been keeping fish for a while now. It's not that big of a leap to go over on the saltwater side. Once you have the experience on one side, it's just a little bit more learning and education. It's not like going to another universe or something. It's a little bit more learning. And I'm trying to tell people that, I'm trying to show people that and teach them in that way. And I think the saltwater community kind of doesn't like that too much. That I'm trying to say, hey, it's not that difficult. That's the feedback I'm getting.
Yeah, I don't know if you were at the Aquashella where I debated Jake Adams. It would have been 2022 in Dallas, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We debated freshwater versus saltwater. And of course, Jake was on the saltwater side. And one of the things that I said, and I have no problem saying it here because these are all my people here, but I said, hey man, the saltwater community is full of a bunch of snobs. And I was expecting some pushback from Jake on that. And he was like on stage in front of a packed house. He was like, you know what? You're right. There definitely is a lot of those people. And I said, of course it's not everybody.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, of course it's not everybody, but it was definitely, I didn't get people saying, hey, stay in your lane, because like you, I went in there saying, hey, listen, I don't know anything about saltwater. I'm just telling you, I'm learning as I go here, and I'm taking you along the journey with me. And it's been fun, but it's also been super frustrating at the same time. And I take responsibility for that. I'm not able to give that tank as much attention as I probably should. So the problems are self-induced for me. But, and you know, the other thing that really bothers me, when a saltwater channel, George Mavrakis, for example, Coralfish 12G, when he makes a freshwater video, people don't tell him to stay in his lane.
Right. It doesn't go both ways, right?
No.
It's only that one way that it happens.
That's right.
I know all about that. And I was going to say too, like in the freshwater side, when you're new and you start doing some content, whether you're a creator or not, right? If you're just new in the freshwater side, I think people are a little bit more forgiving to the freshwater beginner, because I think the majority of everyone in this hobby started as a freshwater beginner. Most people go freshwater first, right? Yeah. So there's a little bit more forgiving in that way. But the saltwater side is like, hey, you better know what you're doing.
Right.
And you better not start telling people or teaching people how to do something when you just started a month ago. How dare you? You know? Or even worse. How dare you try to say that it's not that difficult when you haven't been doing it for 10 years? How dare you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
but I think it's all about having people go along on the ride with you and learn while you're learning too. So that kind of lets them know, hey, you know, I'm learning with you. This is awesome. You're not, you know,
Absolutely.
Somebody that's perfect, that's been doing it forever. You just started and you're taking us along on the ride. And I think that's the way people should look at it more, instead of being like, stay in your lane.
Yep. I have a saltwater beginners playlist on the channel, and that's exactly the route that I took. Exactly what you said.
Right.
It was like, learn with me.
Right.
With me as I learn, I'll show you what I've learned, and I'm gonna make mistakes along the way too. Like I'm not doesn't lose fish. I don't think there's anybody in the hobby that doesn't lose fish. So it's gonna happen, you know, and it's part of starting something new and learning something different.
You know, the one thing I will say though, I like you, I go to a lot of these events. We haven't been in a bit.
We didn't go anywhere in 2024, except we went to
I think I missed you guys the last two Aquashellas. I think I didn't see you guys there.
Yeah, we missed all three of them this year, and it was unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. But I say what I say about, you know, hey, there's a lot of snobs in that community. But at the same time, every person I've met in person that is a saltwater guy, like from a creator standpoint, they've all been the most pleasant people to deal with.
I agree 100%. I never meet anyone unpleasant face to face. I don't know why, But either it doesn't happen. They don't want to be unpleasant when they're actually in front of your face, or they just choose to walk by you and not say anything. But you're right. That's exactly how it happens in real life.
I've run into a few where I kind of went into it knowing like this guy's going to be a jerk, but I'm not going to be rude. I'm going to go talk to him, and he was just as sweet as could be. I mean, and Jake, I don't know if you're familiar with Jake Adams. We unfortunately lost him a couple years ago.
I have been told about how great he was for the community, and
he really was.
My people told me to go watch his stuff because his stuff was that good.
Yeah, he was the first and I believe only saltwater aquarium channel that approached me. We had never met. I'd seen him at events, and I'd watched a bunch of his videos, but we never met each other. He approached me, and that was the only one, and I'm pretty sure the only one since that ever approached me like, hey, I like what you do for the freshwater side of the community. So I thought that was
because he was
amazing.
a freshwater keeper too.
He was closeted.
Yeah.
He didn't like to tell a lot of people that because of this, because he might get his butt kicked over it. But he kicked my butt on that debate stage. Let me tell you what, it was a bloodbath. I even had Big Rich from the Ohio Fish Rescue thinking he needed to come up on stage to save me from Jake. Is how bad
so funny.
My butt was.
It was a which one is better kind of a debate.
It was saltwater versus freshwater. So I had like 10 things about freshwater that I thought were better than saltwater, and he had the same. And whatever he would bring up about saltwater, I would rebut that. You know what I mean? And we would go back and forth that way. And but at the end, we were friends. We'd worked together already. Him and I had collaborated on some videos and stuff like that. So it wasn't like we were really like fighting or anything like that, like the people we were in Amityville watching a little while ago. But the
Fury, yeah.
It was all done for fun, and it was great. And I think we got our point across. And then unfortunately, literally 12 days later, he passed out of nowhere. So that was a shock.
That? Wow.
12 days. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But anyway, before I go doom and gloom, we talked outside of Fins and Fury after the event briefly on the street, but I haven't really heard your thoughts. How do you think that event went?
The Fins and Fury event. It was cool. It was a good event. I had fun. My friends that came with me had fun. It was a good event as far as going out and having a night out with the friends, with the fellas, and enjoying it. As far as the actual fights themselves, you're not paying for professional boxers in the ring. You're not going to see A1 talent in there. If you went in there expecting that, that's on you,
Yeah.
So it was what it was. You got aquarium guys fighting each other, and it's about your own expectations when you went in there,
Right.
So for me, it was a great event. I called up the boys that we haven't hung out together in, years, all of us together at the same time. It's been years, and we all got to hang out at a pay-per-view event, had some food, had some drinks, met a lot of cool people there too. So for me, overall, the event was a great success. Like, I had a good time.
I did too. And, one of the bits of feedback I've gotten regularly about it was how good the commentary was.
Oh.
I heard that there was some good commentators doing that fight.
I'd like to know who that was, because apparently they did a really good job. So
I remember too that they were dressed for success.
Oh yeah, man. Those guys, they took it seriously. They knew, they knew there was going to be millions of people watching them live on pay-per-view. So they wanted to make sure they were.
I'm pretty sure that fight, all those fights were like 20 times better than that Tyson fight too.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was actually real fighting and like
that was a huge letdown.
Yeah,
So.
we don't even need to go there.
We might end up talking about it for way past the stream can go.
Even though it does involve a
I'm
YouTube.
very opinionated on that one. We don't want to.
Yeah, that one was rough. It was. All I'm going to say about it is it was very depressing to watch, while also being very inspiring for me. I don't know how old you are, Kev, but I'm 50 years old, and to see a man, even though he was as a premier of an athlete as a human being can be 30 years ago, to see him go the whole distance against
So
a
you,
guy
so you
half
do
his
want to go
age.
down this rabbit hole. So you do.
No, no, listen, I'm not trying to say he fought well. I'm just saying to just be on his feet that long was impressive to me. And I couldn't have done it. I mean,
The way I felt about seeing Mike Tyson, I really felt almost like I didn't want to see him look the way that he looked in that ring.
it's true.
And a part of me wants to say, because I watched all the hype films before the fight, and I'm like, man, Mike still looks like Mike.
Yep.
I was impressed, right? And then the fight happened, and I was like,
That ain't Mike.
I feel bad for that guy that's in the ring.
And they all walked away with their ears.
It's true.
But
It's
not
true.
Mike's gloves, though. Not Mike's gloves. Those gloves took a beating.
But see, that's why I said, and first of all, the commentator kept saying throughout that whole thing that was a normal tick for Tyson.
Right.
I've watched
never
every
seen
one of
him-
his.
Yep,
I've never seen him do that.
I've never seen Mike Tyson bite on his gloves. I've seen
No.
him bite an ear or two, but not gloves.
Yeah, we've seen him bite other things, but not that. But like I said, it was very depressing to see him and to see, because I'm used to seeing Iron Mike. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
Me too. Me too.
And to see
Grew up in
that,
that era too. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
yeah, it was sad. But then I was impressed just by the fact that he was able to stay on his feet that long. That impressed me. He didn't do much else, but it was impressive, and I did like the show of respect that young fella had for him there at the end. I thought that was classy. But if that guy's even capable of showing any class, he did at that moment. But listen,
Maybe he'll be at Fins and Fury next year.
you never know. One of the guys that was in one of the fights at Fins and Fury built a pond for him. So there's that. But
And then one
Brian
of the guys.
Fitzsimmons.
I'm actually not too many. I forgot what they call it. Not too many degrees away from Jake Paul, because some of the guys that came to set up my saltwater tank and plumb my saltwater tank, the Infinity Aquariums, they built Jake Paul's tank in his house in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So I'm like 2 or 3 degrees away from Jake Paul, but I've never met him, and I don't know him, and I have no idea about his character or who he is or what he does. So I can speak freely about the Mike Tyson fight and how I felt about it. There's no hold bar here.
What I will say about Jake Paul is he's a genius. That's what I'm going to say about him. He's
The
a
money he
genius.
made on that,
He is very good at what he does, which is make
Correct.
money. He makes
Correct.
money. He's an entertainer, and he makes money. Good for him on that. But listen, we got to talk about fish. Otherwise, people are going to absolutely lose their minds. I offered Kev, I said, we can give you one of our segments. You can do a fish profile. You can do a product spotlight. You can do internet tomfoolery, whatever it is that you want to do. And I think there was a little bit of confusion as to what all that meant. So Kev showed up ready to do a Joe Rogan style interview, and I was like,
I'm ready.
Okay, well,
Listen, I'm already having fun, so I'm ready to whatever you dish at me, we'll figure it out on the fly.
well, you said something about a product that you wanted to do a spotlight on. But before you do that, I got to find it. I have to play the intro for that, and then I have to take me off the screen. So I'm going to play this intro, and when it's over, the camera will be on you. You can do the spotlight. I don't even know what it is. Whatever it is you're going to talk about, it'll be ready.
Okay, cool.
All right, brother, it's all you.
Okay, so I'm gonna take full advantage of this product spotlight since I'm here. I did want to talk about one specific product, but I'm gonna really quick take full advantage, right? For those of you that don't know, I write a couple of books. I've written a couple of books, nothing crazy. They're not novels, very small, very quick reads. I got one that is crystal clear aquarium water. It's a very thin book, but it's got all the tactics that I've ever used to keep crystal clear aquarium water. The ebook is free,
Nice.
but you can also get the paperback for $10. You can buy them both. Everything I'm going to show you guys is available at cavemanaquatics.com. That's one book. The second book is my African cichlid keeping book,
Nice.
which has everything I've ever known or taught about keeping African cichlids successfully. This book is also available as an ebook for I think $10, and the paperback is about $20. Again, you can find them all cavemanaquatics.com. I also have an online video course on this exact subject, keeping African cichlids. If you're a visual learner and you don't like to read books, I understand people learn things in their own way. You can check out the online video course. It's about 2.5 hours long, straight to the point, sweet. You'll understand it 100% completely. I also offer a one-on-one consulting service for anyone that needs help in any aspect of the aquarium hobby. If you prefer to hang out with me one-on-one, talk just the two of us, you can schedule something like that also at cavemanaqutics.com. I will say that it is not cheap. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it.
Hey, you can't waste your time.
I'm going to dedicate, say it again.
You can't waste your time. You got, you know,
Right.
time is
If I'm
valuable.
going to dedicate an hour just between me and you one-on-one, and we're going to figure out every single one of your problems and get you squared away totally confident, it's not going to be cheap. I'll say that right off the bat. But the actual product I wanted to talk about, guys, is something that I've been working on for a long time. I teamed up with a great team, and we're trying to do something amazing. And it is called the Aquabuilder app. Hopefully you guys can see my phone. If I pull it up right here, it's Aquabuilder, AQUABUILDR. You can download it for free at aquabuilder.com. It's got a free version. It's got a premium version. The premium version has a bunch of extra stuff in it, but I'm going to talk to you guys about what this app is for, what it does, and it's going to be all the free stuff, everything that you can use right now. If you guys would like, download it right now as I walk through it with you, right? So it's got, first and foremost, it's designed for beginners coming into the hobby that need help setting up a new tank. So it's got a Aquabuilder feature in it where you will select your tank size and you will start selecting the fish that you want. And the algorithm in the app is going to be able to tell you, number one, if those fish are compatible with each other to be placed in that tank. And number two, is that tank size the right size for the fish that you want to keep? Or let's say you want to keep multiple of the same species. If you go over the amount, the number that is required for that tank, for them to be in, it'll let you know you've got too many, you got to upgrade your tank size. So it's a great step-by-step setting the tank up with your fish. Then it goes through cycling the tank, how to cycle it properly, how to confirm that your tank is cycled so that your fish stay safe. That's the Aquabuilder tool. But if you go into the tools button there, you'll see a bunch more very useful tools that the app provides you. One of them is also just a plain fish compatibility tool. If you ever wondered if you could keep this fish with that fish, or you know, this snail with that kind of a catfish or anything like that, the fish compatibility tool, you can see every species that's available in the app, and it'll tell you every species that it can live with in an aquarium. Very cool tool. And we're also adding species to the app on a daily basis. The development team of this app is actually in-house. They are basically co-owners of the app along with myself and the rest of the team. So when we hear that you guys want a new species, or hey, I don't have this type of species that I keep is not in the app, you can imagine that in 3 to 4 days, less than a week's time, that species will be added to the app because the development team is in-house and we're working on it as you guys leave the feedback. Some more tools that we got is a tank size calculator. If you got length and width, you want to know how many gallons that is, or vice versa. You got the gallons, you want to know the dimensions of a tank, that's in there. We've got a substrate calculator. I got a lot of questions that some people ask me, how much substrate do I need in a 60-gallon tank? The calculator right there is going to let you know right on the app. We also got a dosing diary. The dosing diary is part of your tank's dashboard, basically, right? When you dose, whatever you're dosing to your tank on a regular basis, let's say trace elements or some cichlid salt if you keep African cichlids, the app is going to be able to keep track of everything you dose, the amount you dose, when you dose it. It'll show it to you on a graph. line graph, bar graph, whichever way you want to display it is going to take care of that for you. So you can keep track, because there's plenty of times when I say to myself, did I dose Cichlid Trace last week? I don't remember if I dosed it or not. But if I get into the hobby of implementing that information into the app, it's going to always be there. I'll never have to wonder whether I dosed something or not, or how much of it did I dose when I dosed it. The app's going to keep track of that too. That's the dosing diary, right? But besides the tools, you can also keep track of all of your water parameters in this app. When you do your tests, and for most of us that already have cycle tanks, we're not really testing ammonia and nitrite anymore, right? We've gone past that, and now we might be able to test for nitrate before we do our water changes, because we want to make sure how high those levels are. You can post your nitrate levels, your pH, your temperature, everything that you want to keep track of in your individual tank can be tracked with the app on one tank. If you've got multiple tanks with multiple parameters, the app is also going to be able to keep track of multiple tanks and multiple parameters. That's a very cool feature, I think, anyway, because I don't remember what my nitrates were last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember if my pH fluctuated 3 days ago at midnight. But if I checked it and I put it into the app and I tracked it, I would remember. That information would always be there. If I just kept it in my head 3 days later, we all know all the things that are going on. I'm not going to remember that. What else does the chat have? What else does the app have? It has an AI chat bot. So anything aquarium related, you have a question, you go into the AI chat bot. The AI is going to answer your questions to the best of its abilities. And trust me, it's better than Google, because you Google a question, Google's going to take you to some website that maybe talks about the topic. You got to read through the article to find the exact information you're looking for. That's not what the AI chatbot does. You say to the AI chatbot, how many fish can I keep in a 100-gallon tank? It's going to give you a direct answer. It's going to answer your specific question. It's an awesome tool, part of the app. Let me keep going. The latest thing that we just added to the app is a social feed. So similar to Facebook, Instagram, these social platforms, we now have a social feed in the app so that you can choose whose tank you would like to follow. So when you follow somebody's tank, for example, let's say you follow my tanks. All of my tanks are in the app. And if you follow my tanks, it's not just seeing a picture of the tank or seeing a video of the tank. You'll be able to go into the tank, and everything I spoke about earlier, all the parameters that I'm tracking, all of the dosing that I'm tracking, everything that I do, that I input into my tanks, if you follow my tanks, you'll be able to see that information. What equipment I'm using, the filtration, the biomedia, what lighting I'm using, what heaters I'm using, all of that can be inputted into the app. And when you follow someone, you can see all that information. I get that question all the time. I know you do too, John. When someone says, what filter are you running on that tank? What media are you using in that filter? What this, what that, what that? If all your information is being tracked in the app and someone follows your tank, they've got access to everything that you're doing on your tank. With that being said, I want to say that you get to choose if you want to make your information public. Of course, you could keep it private and no one will see anything that you don't want them to see. But if you want to make your tank dashboard public, you can. And anyone that likes your tank, they like the video or the picture image that you have, they can choose to follow you. That's another part of the social feed as well, is that you get to kind of show off your tank. You can show off your Scape, show off your fish, and while people are scrolling through the social feed, they get to see your design, your aquascape. They can get inspired by how you built your tank and go off of that feedback and build their own tank. The last thing I'm going to say about the app is the newest thing that we got going on. I'm getting a ton of notifications of people downloading the app and following me right now. Look, I'm not lying. They're right on the top of the screen. Look at all those. I love it. I love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. The last thing I'm going to say is the newest thing that we're going to implement into the app is the saltwater world. Right now, it's all based on freshwater fish, freshwater everything. You already know, John, that we're ready to take the heat. But the newest thing that we're going to implement is saltwater stuff. We're going to have saltwater fish, how to set up saltwater tanks, all the equipment you need, the water parameters, including minerals that you need to keep track of in saltwater. All that good stuff is going to be added to the app shortly. We're working on it currently. Download the Aquabuilder app, get it for free. If you don't like it, just delete it. Easy as pop. That's all I got. Thank you for the time, John. I appreciate it.
Hey, that's not a problem. I'll send you a bill. It's no big deal. But hey, I have a question for you.
Let's go.
I have to wait till the appropriate time to ask it. Okay, right now. How in the world do you have arowanas in a saltwater tank?
That's a good question.
Is anyone else seeing that? Does anyone else see the reflection of his arowanas in the saltwater tank and it freaks you out?
Never heard of saltwater arowana?
I always thought they were from the Amazon and they were saltwater fish. It looks like he's got arowanas in his saltwater tank. It's so funny.
The thing with this room is that everything is reflected onto everything. The floor
it's just bizarre. You've got African cichlids mixed with discus. You've got arowanas in your saltwater tank. It's madness in there.
That's why they call me crazy. That's why I say I do crazy stuff, because I just do whatever.
No, that's hilarious. You know, I don't know if we were rudely distracting you when you were doing your bit there, but I muted our microphones and Lisa and I were talking. We came up with a good idea.
Okay.
That involves you.
Oh yeah. We
That
did.
I don't know if you're going to like it very much, but you can say no. But I think it would be fun for her and I to include your tanks in the Rate My Tank segment tonight. Oh, see, he ain't worried. He ain't worried.
No problem.
Okay.
I know it. I can take the heat.
All right.
Take the heat.
Well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna have some fun here. I did not just cut Kevin off. He is still with us. However, I am going to share with everyone here today some clips that he sent, and we're going to go through them quickly, and we're going to rate these tanks. We're going to do it fast. But here's the thing, Kev. We need to know.
Oh yeah, we need to know equipment.
What you have in the tanks, as far as not the fish, but the equipment and stuff like that. And I would love. Let me see. Let me figure this out here. I'd like to have you on, and then put them over top of you and do the picture in a picture so you will be in it. But here is the first one.
Oh, that's a saltwater tank? No.
That is the salt. Now, okay, we're not going to do this one because it's saltwater. Because I don't know how to rate. I don't know how to rate a saltwater tank.
Yeah,
and there's one.
You can rate it based on like how much you like it. I don't know.
No, okay.
Based on
this
his
is,
fish are alive.
You tease them with that, man. You tease them.
I feel like I would be doing you a disservice if I rated your saltwater tank, because then you'd probably be like, all right, jerk, let me see yours. And then it would hurt my feelings because mine looks so bad. So, okay, I'm going to take a guess on all of this. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because I know you and I know what you use.
It's a salt.
This is a Marineland 240.
Okay.
I saw that look on your face. I can see you, you know.
I know you can.
That's not a custom aquariums tank.
That is not a custom aquariums tank, correct.
Okay, then it's an Aquarium 240.
There you go. It's not a 240, it's an Aquarium 210.
Okay, listen. You made a funny face when I said Marineland. Marineland, Aquarium, same thing. Who cares? No reason.
Actually, you know what? When you said that, I actually made that face because I thought you were talking about the filtration. I thought you were talking about Marineland filtration.
Oh, no.
That's why I went, oh, wait, that's way off. One of my very first 75 gallons, I don't have it anymore. It was a Marineland tank. That's a great tank, too.
Yeah, sure. And let's face it, they're all made at the same factory. But listen, I don't see any evidence of filtration, but I see some serious, obviously there's filters in there, but I'm saying you've done a good job of covering up the filtration.
Thank you.
But I'm going to guess, knowing what little I know about your tanks, I'm going to guess we're talking about an FX6 in this thing.
At least.
Okay, so
you have a sump?
Is
there a sump in there?
No sump.
No sump.
There's sump?
I mean, okay, you don't have more than one canister in there because all of the water is coming from from one corner, unless you put both outputs on the same corner. All right, what do you have? How about let's just end this.
I was giving you the opportunity because you were going down the right path.
It's hard because I can't see anything. You know what I mean? Like, you've done a good job of hiding the intakes and all that.
So all the equipment besides that wave maker you see right there, the rest of the equipment, all of it is behind that 3D background. That's why you can't see anything. It's all hidden. The one FX6 output you can see, that's the one you can see. The second FX6 output you can't see because it's behind that rock, that floating rock that's up at the top.
Oh,
that's why you
okay.
can see it from this angle. But
All
it
right.
is visible in the tank. You know, if you're at a different angle, you can see the two outputs. So
What kind of light? What kind of light are we talking about on that tank?
That's a Blade freshwater light, the 72-inch one.
Okay.
And it's a beast of a light. It's very powerful. It's this light right now, actually, in this video, and even on, you know, behind me right now, that's 50% power.
Wow.
I don't ever put it to 100%.
That's the AI blade, right? That's what you're talking about?
AI Blade freshwater light. Yep.
Okay. I mean, we're talking strong numbers here for the filter, for the equipment. What are we talking about for heaters? Say the right thing now, Kev. Come on now.
Is it a CJ?
I recently put fluval heaters in because
Okay.
I got a great shipment of fluval heaters. I did a video not too long ago about fluval heaters, and I swapped all my older heaters. I actually had some really generic, crappy Amazon heaters for a long time, and I swapped them all out, and I put some fluval heaters in. Everything is running on fluval heaters now.
Okay. Let me ask you this before we move on. Did you send me multiple clips of that tank? Because
Yes.
okay, I'm going to put another one up here, and I'm going to hope that, yep, it's that one. Okay.
Yeah, one's a static, and the second one is kind of a little more closer up and moving. There's the second output behind the rock up there.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to be honest, not a fan of that rock. But other than that, I was
like
gonna
it.
I was gonna ask you about it. It's kind of like, what's going on there? But I understand why you did it. So, and it's your tank, not mine. So who cares what I think?
There actually is a specific reason. If you notice, there isn't a lot of decor in the tank. There isn't a lot of line of sight breakage.
Right.
So there's a couple of rocks on the bottom, but I also wanted a line of sight breakage at the top, and they tend to hide behind that rock at times.
Okay.
So when I see that they were utilizing it, I'm like, okay, it's good then. They know that it's there and they're using it for a hiding spot.
Okay. So, there's no way I'm giving him anything other than a 10 for equipment. And listen, Kev, you are the first. This is not because you and I are friends. You are the first I've given a 10 for equipment to. And I've
Really?
said, listen, I've said to her, I've said in this live stream, for me to give somebody a 10 on their equipment, we're going to be talking about FX series filters. We're going to be talking about like AI or Kessel lights. We're going to be talking about Seche or Fluval or, you know, Eheim, the big name heaters. You got all that. So how could I not give it a 10?
Well, I'm going to give you a 9.5 because you didn't use a CJ heater.
I'll take it. I'll take
mean,
the 9. I'll take it.
That is a strong,
I'm
strong
happy
number.
with that. Very,
Now,
very
the-
satisfied.
The Aquascape, I am like you. I like minimal decor. My minimal decor is actually significantly more minimal than yours.
I see it right behind you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hiding from anybody. I like the fish to be the decor. But then
Exactly.
in my African cichlid tanks, I know you really can't get away with that. So my African cichlid tanks look similar to yours, except my rocks are real. But anyway,
No,
I love the
But
background.
let me ask you a question. Do my rocks look real?
yes.
It is very nice. I think that's an aqua decor, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, well done there. It does look very nice. And you don't have the threat of one of the rocks falling over and busting your tank into a million pieces. So we know who the
Right.
smart one is here.
Not in the freshwater tank. No, I don't have that threat.
Well, the live rock and the saltwater
It's-
tanks, they don't weigh
right.
much.
Can't speak about that one.
Yeah. So I like the look. I love the background. I think that's great. I reached out to Aqua Decor about working on one of our tanks that we were doing for a family who lost their home in a fire, and I asked them if they wanted to send a background to put in that tank for these people. We got all the stuff donated and all that. It was wonderful. I never heard back from them. So sour taste in my mouth about Aqua Decor, but their products are amazing. I'm sure the people over there are fantastic. They just didn't see the email. That's fine.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I'm sure that's it. I took no hit to my ego from that or anything. It just was what it was. I'm not mad at them for
I
it.
could almost guarantee you that if you just send another follow-up email, they'll apologize for missing it, because it does happen, even in my communications with them, and they'll be totally apologetic about it. I'm sure it was something like that. Guaranteed.
I'm sure it was. Like I said, I'm in the business too, so I understand. I'm not going to be mad at them for it. Now, there's only 2 dings that I can put on the Aquascape. We need something in there that's going to clean up that diatom. I mean, I like
that.
I like that. And unless that's in the
natural.
background, is that diatom, or is that in the background?
So that's actually blackbeard algae that was recently removed so that it's kept at this level.
Okay.
It was way worse than that, and it was literally black.
Okay.
And that's due to my own negligence on the background for some time. That background's been in this tank probably going on maybe 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
And I haven't touched it for 2 or 3 years. Literally.
Well,
Until maybe a month ago, it just got overwhelming with the blackbeard algae. At first, I didn't mind the look of it because it kind of matched with the black substrate. It meshed well, but it got too overwhelming. So I actually scrubbed it down. I did some hydrogen peroxide to kill it, scrubbed it with a brush, and this is the aftermath of it. And that little brownish tint, I kind of like it. I think it just gives a little bit more of a color pattern flow to the tank.
hey, listen,
But
I don't.
like it.
it's not there purposely, or let me take that back. It's not there by accident. It's there because it grew and I brushed it off, and that's the after result.
I don't hate it. I'm just saying, I can't give you 10s all the way down the board, Kev. I mean, I have to find things.
They would
to
say
ding
that
you for.
this is rigged if you did that.
That's right, exactly. Oh, favoritism for their friends. The floating rock, it's not my thing. So because of that, and you like it, it serves a purpose. That's good. So I'm not mad at you for it. But I personally wouldn't do that. You personally wouldn't have no decor in your tank at all, like my tank is behind me. So you can throw these same criticisms right back at me. But I'm going to give it an 8.75.
Really?
For the Aquascape. Even though it's very minimal, I like minimal. I'm happy
Very
with that.
specific number, 8.75. Okay.
Well, I'm going to give you a 9.5, only because of that rock up top. I like it, but I don't.
Just to mess with me.
Yeah, I love it. I love the algae look on it, and I really love the background. I like the sand, the black gravel sand or whatever.
Yep.
I like where all the rocks are placed and where they've kind of moved everything around and done their own thing. But that one rock kind of bothers me up top. But I will give you a 9.5.
Kevin, your scores are strong here.
I love them.
Because
I'll take them.
it's
I'll take them
not-
all day.
It's not meant to be an aquascape with planted, with plants and all that. It is scaped appropriately for African cichlids.
It very much is.
Exactly.
Now we get to the controversial one. We're going to rate the fish. And listen, I put the camera back on me for a second. I will say it to your face.
What?
It's not because Kev is a friend.
Okay.
The fish are a 10, and you know it.
Yeah, duh. It's a 10.
That's a 10. And
Fish are a 10.
And it just, it definitely is. So I'm
Thank
going
you,
to tell
man.
you,
Thank you.
listen, I'm going to tell you why it's a 10. It's a 10 because you have the blood parrot in there and because you have a male and female Christie eye in there.
You noticed that, huh?
Of course I did. What are you kidding me?
And you know why? And you know why? That is the one and only female in this entire tank, and I just can't catch her.
Oh, well, I know that feeling. I understand
can't catch
that.
her.
Yeah.
The only way possible for me to catch her is during one of my big water changes, but it's that I'm doing so many other things at the same time as the big water change. I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that, trying to get her right now. So she's just been in there. She's the only female in the whole tank.
Hey, she ain't bothering nobody. Leave her alone. Leave her in there.
That's the other thing, right? If they all got crazy, if they all went crazy because she's in there, because they typically do when you have females in there with Africans, but they're not going crazy. They're fine. They're like, she's one of the buddies. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
She's not
real.
one of the buddies. She's like, I'm the only chick in here, and I got all my boyfriends. These are all my boyfriends.
Let's be honest with each other. Female Christy eyes. That's what I call them. I don't. You call them whatever you want. Malawi hawks, whatever you want to call them. They're not the most attractive fish. So the reason why nobody's bothering her is because she's ugly. She's ugly chick in the tank.
She is
She's
not
like
ugly.
the ugly duckling. She's a super gray and washed out, and that's how you know that she's a female. That's how I knew right away. I bought her as a male, but then I'm like, that's not a male.
The only thing missing in that tank, I mean, you got a sapphire in there, you've got albinos in there, you've got a frontosa in there, which I'm surprised people aren't yelling at you for.
Oh, they are.
I'm sure they do. The
peacock, let me take that back. They were yelling at me when I put there's 3 frontosa in there. They were yelling at me when I did that, and now it's 4 years later, and the yelling has stopped.
It's like, what can you say now? They've been in there 4 years. You going to tell me I can't put them in there? Well,
they bred because there is a female. I take that back about the single female. One of those frontosas is a female too, but the peacocks and haps aren't trying to mate with the frontosa. But they bred multiple times. She's spit eggs. I tried to grow the fry. I failed miserably, but they're doing great in this tank. For all those people that told me I was
listen, I've done it too not a million times, but I've done it. In fact, I can't say I one-upped you because you got the blood parrot in there, which bravo to you for that. But I had imbunas in my mixed tank, which I don't see any in yours.
No, I don't keep imbuna with them.
But I had frontosas, peacocks, haps, and imbunas, and people yelled at me for it. So overall presentation, it's a 9.5.
It's definitely a 9.5.
Yeah, Kev, you did good. You did real good. Those are
great scores.
Those are really strong scores. I don't know that we've ever given scores that high. And if we were not friends, we probably wouldn't have scored it. So, no, I'm just joking. It's really good. You did real good there.
If someone sent it in like that, I would have scored the exact same way.
Yeah, it looks really good. And that's our style.
The blood parrot, right? Just real quick before we move on. The blood parrot was a complete and total accident, right? That is my OG fish of all the African cichlids that I've ever had. Before I had African cichlids in my original tank, that blood parrot was in that tank. And when I decided to switch to keeping African cichlids, all left the tank except for that OG blood parrot. His name is Gordo, by the way.
Gordo, I love
the
it.
OG blood parrot. And
I love it.
He became the boss. Even when I just put the Africans in there, he's been with them ever since. And they don't bother him and he don't bother them.
I've said it a million times. The thing that gets me about blood parrots is every time I look at one, I just go, "Aw, it's so cute."
I know.
That's such a
they
cute
got
fish.
the little mouth that goes.
Yeah, I'm definitely attached to him for sure. Like that's a super attachment with that guy.
All right. Do you want to stick around and do an actual viewers rate my tank, or you got to run? I'm not going to be mad at you if you need to get off.
I got nothing to do but hang out with you guys tonight. I'm having fun.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Well, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to rate all your tanks because, they all look good, and I'd give them all ridiculous scores, and people say I'm favoring you too much. So now we're going to do the official rate my tank, which I do not have a intro for. I got to do that.
Really?
I got to do that one of these days. But,
Yeah.
Kev, you are not on camera right now. You're not also, you're still with us and your microphone is not muted, but you should be able to see the tank on your screen since you have the stream pulled up.
That is so pretty.
So let me tell you a little bit about what we're dealing with here. First of all, I did what I promised while Kev was talking. I looked it up, and it is Nicholas Cole is the owner of this tank. It is a 120-gallon. The fish are a mix of rummy nose, rose lines, and discus. The hardware is 2 Aquarium Quiet Flow 75s, 2 Aquarium Pro heaters, the big Aquarium fan, Eco Complete substrate, root tabs, no CO2, 1 Current USA 48-inch planted plus light, 2 Phoenix Ray 2 daylight lights. So we're talking extreme lighting in here. And unfortunately, it says this tank is no longer set up. I just saw that. Long story short, we had to move. Okay. So Nicholas, I'm going to call him Nick because it's more fun to say that. He had to move. So this tank is no longer with us.
Aww.
But that doesn't matter. I saw almost instantly when I saw this tank, something stood out to me. And it's that daggone, he did the thing with the driftwood that I said people should be doing more, and he made the driftwood look like a tree.
Yeah, that looks good. I
That
think
is-
the Scape looks really nice.
That is so cool. I love the mixture of plants. Now, Kev, you're not a plant guy, right? Like you don't know anything about these plants.
I am not a planted guy, but I can appreciate when plants look nice and healthy, and they definitely do in this tank.
The tank, all right. I'm going to be honest here because that's my job. The plants look better than the fish do. The discus, they look a little unhappy.
Discus looks a little.
I didn't want to say
little-
anything
little
until we got
sick.
to the
I think
fish
maybe
part.
even a little, very little, very skinny.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe
They shouldn't even be in there. They're probably super stressed because of the other fish.
Yeah, those are this is rose lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, there might be a bit too much chaos in there, believe it or not, for the discus. But it could be that he had just got them, and you know, when you buy Asian
if you
discus,
buy them like
they
that,
might be stressed from having just been bought. No, I don't know. I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt is what I'm trying to do. So, as far as equipment goes, this guy is an Aquarium fan, and I can't hate that. I mean, I'm not a Aquarium hater, even though Kev made a funny face when I said Aquarium to him about his tank. He was insulted. I
That
thought he
was
was gonna-
Marineland. That was Marineland, not Aquarium.
Okay, yeah, that's my bad.
You're gonna throw me down the hole. Get it right.
My bad. Yeah. Oops. I'm a professional. But 2 Aquarium Quiet Flow 75s. I'm not. I'll say it to your face. I am a fan of the Aquarium Quiet Flow. Hang on the back. Is it as good as a Tidal? Is it as good as an Aquaclear? No. But it's good. And I'm a fan of those filters. Aquarium Pro heaters. Never used them.
I don't think I have either.
I don't know about those,
I have
but
no experience with them at all.
I'm not going to say they're bad because I haven't used them, so I don't know if they're bad.
Right.
They're working in his tank unless maybe they're not, and that's why the discus are unhappy. I don't know, but the Current USA lights, I'm a fan of Current USA.
Yeah, I like
I don't
that.
even know if they're still around anymore, but
Last I heard, I don't think they are. I used to have Current USA lights, and then I heard that maybe they went out of business.
if that's true, that's unfortunate and very sad. But yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? It's not the first time that story's been told. And also 2 Phoenix Ray 2 daylight lights. So we've got some strong lighting on here. 2 hang-on backs. Water looks really good. The lighting looks good. Is it the way I would set up a tank equipment-wise? No, it's not. But this isn't my tank, so who cares what I would do? I'm going to give the equipment a solid 7.25.
I was going to go with the 7.
Hey, no explanation. You're just going to throw out a number.
Yeah.
Okay. Kev, how you feel?
Well, let me give an explanation.
Okay, hold on, Kev.
I'd prefer it be more like, I don't know, maybe a Tidal or an Aquaclear. Thankfully, doesn't have a sponge filter in there because that would be not good in that tank.
We like sponge filters, though, but not in that
But
tank.
not in that tank. I mean, you know, I like the bubbles, even though, you know, Jay Wilson doesn't like the bubbles.
Yeah, we don't care about what Jay thinks.
Yeah.
Jay thinks.
It's not a Seche heater. And, you know, I'm okay with the lights, too, because I think they're pretty good.
They're doing the job.
Yeah, definitely. The plants look awesome. Let's see, what else? Do you know what size tank it is?
120.
Really?
Yep, it's a 4-foot 120.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Doesn't
So
look like a
that's-
120. It doesn't look that big.
I know. I thought it was like maybe it's tall.
Well, that's what he said. I mean, I'm not going to call the guy. Are you calling my viewer a liar, Kev? I mean, come on. No.
So, yeah. Yeah, so a 7.
Okay, 7 and a 7.25. How are we feeling, Caveman?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lisa and say 7.0, but it's totally based on the fact that it's using equipment that I don't really use. I don't go with that brand. So my rating is very biased.
Yeah.
I don't have any experience with those pieces of equipment. So I would use a different brand of stuff only because that's what I know and that's what I'm used to. So my rating is worthless.
That's not worthless. I mean, we all have our
I'll,
biases.
I'll change the word to meaningless. It doesn't mean anything.
At least,
Maybe that stuff is really good and it works really well. I don't know.
at least you understand your bias. I mean, that's a good thing. So now the Aquascape, this is a different story.
Yeah.
The Aquascape in this is amazing.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
I don't think that this driftwood with all the Java moss on top is fake. I think that's real. Why did I even say that? That's real. That is a real piece of driftwood with a big old bush of taxiphyllum on the top to make it look like a tree. Bravo for that.
Good.
I mean, that is the focal point in the tank. Other than that, there's really no real theme or anything. It's like, hey, I got this one amazing piece of driftwood that I'm going to make look like a tree, and I'm going to put a couple more pieces of driftwood in there, and I'm going to fill it full of plants. And I think it looks really, really good. I would be thrilled to have this tank in my living room.
Yeah,
And so
I love how all the plants have grown in. The substrate's beautiful. I love it.
yeah, it's amazing. Now, we're not rating plants as part of the Aquascape, Kev. You need to know.
But it is part of it.
It's part of it, but the plants are also part of the fish rating. At least I'm making the rules up as I go. But
no, it's always been part of the Scape. Duh.
okay, well then my score for the Scape is going to be even higher because the plants look amazing. The crypts right there in the corner look great. We've got Anubias, we got Microsaur. The Crinum calamostratum in the middle, forget about it. I mean, that looks amazing.
Forget about
One of my favorite plants. And the plants look great.
Yeah.
I mean, the Java moss is out of control, but I don't care about that. I like that. I like it to be out of control like that. So as far as the Aquascape goes, this one gets a 9 for me. And I'll say it right to your face because I'm not scared of any of y'all.
Yeah, I agree. I will say a 9. Definitely a 9.
That doesn't mean it's your turn, Kev, because you know what she does. She says there's her score, and then she says, oh, yeah, let me explain.
I'm a quick learn.
No, that's it. It's just a 9.
The Tiger Lotus looks good, too. So, yeah.
And it's going to get even bigger and go whoosh.
Yeah, there's one leaf that's like way up at the top.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't know much about plants, Kev. You admittedly don't. So I'm not trying to insult you there. So I don't know how you're going to look at this as favorably as we did, but hey, take a stab at it.
Again, my rating is going to be kind of meaningless because I understand for the plant lovers why you guys like it and why plant lovers are going to like it because, like I said earlier, the plants look very healthy. They look really good. But for my biased opinion, it's just way too busy for me. There's way too much going on in that tank. And it's because of my bias. It's because I like swimming space. I like open swimming space. So my rating is going to be way down there. 7, 6.
Oh, man.
Something like that. Not because the plants are unhealthy or because the scape was done incorrectly or anything like that. I don't know how to scape plants. I'm not a plant scaper. So again, meaningless rating.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm starting to lose a little faith in you here, Kev. You know what Kev is like?
Should we kick him out?
No.
Now?
Can you imagine being on like American Idol and Kev is one of the judges? He'd be like, well, I don't like that kind of music, so I'm giving you I'm not letting you go through to Hollywood. You're mean, Kev.
Post up a tank that looks similar to the kind of scape and fish that I keep, and I'm going to give a solid rating on that one.
All right, fine. We'll throw you some slack there, I guess. Fish.
How much of a jerk would I look like rating a tank that I don't even, I don't keep and I don't do and I don't know anything really about?
Well, but just because you don't just because you don't keep it doesn't mean you can't admire it And are you
No,
telling
he
me?
is staying in his lane. Leave
I
him
understand,
alone.
but listen, are you telling me that when you go to Aquashellas and you see a tank aquascaped by a Jeff Miyake, you don't look at that and go, "Oh my God, that is so beautiful"? Do you look at that and go, "I would never do that, so I don't like it"?
Well, this is not a Jeff tank.
Oh,
But I know
how
what you're
dare
saying.
you.
I do go to Aquashellas and I do see some scapes there that are off the chart. And I say I wish I could learn how to do something like that. Because I can appreciate a beautifully scaped planet tank. But that one in particular is just looking a little too busy for me. A little too busy.
We were at an Aquashella, not last year, obviously, but the year before, and there was a bunch of scapes. And I believe even Jeff was in that too. He was in the, the scaping thing. But there was a tank that had no plants in it at all. It was just,
I remember that
it
one.
was an African cichlid tank. And the way it was scaped was,
I think Kev did that one.
and he won. The guy won it.
Really?
Yes, maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe it was that other show we went to in North Carolina.
I remember seeing the tank you're talking about, but I don't remember where it was.
Because there were people
The
that were
rocks looked
scaping.
incredible.
Yeah, people were scaping with plants, and it, they look great and all. But then you see this one tank, and you're like, whoa. Once he put the African cichlids in it, you were like, it all makes sense, and yes, he should win. And I loved it.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. It looked like something out of space or something.
I think he was
it was
like
cool.
Asian or something, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really nice. But okay, let's get back on track here because we've got the fish now. So, the elephant in the room is we've all expressed it.
Ooh,
Didn't mean to say that there.
Discus.
The discus, Nick, because see, I like to call him Nick, and I combined the two, and I said a bad word. The discus, Nick, they're not happy in there, and so that is, discus are some of the most beautiful fish you will ever see in this hobby, and those, maybe you just got them, and maybe they're just settling in. And, so we're being unfair here, but
the one is way too dark.
I
and
do-
then the speckles on the other one.
I like the speckles are definitely a sign, but I like the rose lines. I like the neons or cardinals. I don't know which ones they were. I like what's going on in with the fish. The discus, I'm just going to say it. I feel bad for them a little bit, Nick, but I'm sure they're doing great now and everything's fine. And and her and Kev probably too. Well, Kevin's already made himself look like a jerk, but I'm making myself look like a big jerk right now. But I can't not notice that the discus are not looking good. But I've been there, Nick, so I'm not being critical. I'm just kind of stating the obvious. But there's also fish that he did not put in his list there because there's like 6 or 7 different fish in there. I like that. I wish the discus were a little happier. I would give a better score, but for the fish, I'm going to go with a 6.5.
Yeah.
And that's
I
might
feel
be a
like-
little generous, Nick. I'm sorry.
I feel like the tank should have either had just the discus or just the other fish.
If the discus weren't in there, I would have given a higher score.
Yeah, like if it was the discus and the cory cats.
Yep.
And because I feel like the discus would have shown better because they wouldn't be so stressed out.
That's
and
true.
I think that's what it is. I think they're like completely just stressed. And it's been going on a while, and that's why they are the way they are. That's what I think.
So what's your score?
Having, kept discus before, I feel like that is what's going on. Because if it was just those roseline sharks, I'd be like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I
Yep.
love it.
And I mean, there is no fish in this hobby that is more obviously stressed than it is. Like when a discus
yeah.
is stressed, it stands out from across the room.
Yeah. So I'm going to give a 6.
That's not
A 6
unfair.
because the other fish do look good and they are healthy.
Yep. All right, Kev, you're up.
So again, I'm going to look like the total douche on the stream here.
Oh boy.
I already
But
looked bad
this
myself.
is not my cup of tea, right? It's just this from my own perspective and the way I like to keep fish and the way I like to keep tanks, I have two preferences. I have two like priorities, right? For me, number one is color. Number two is size. I'm not a small fish keeper guy,
He's
and
a
I'm
size
not
queen.
and I'm not a bland color fish keeper guy. Besides those the roseline sharks, I don't see any color in those fish, in any of the other fish. And the little bit of
cardinals
color
had
that
some
are in
blue.
the discus, little bit of color in the discus, you guys have said it plenty, like the discus are not looking good. One or two of them look a little skinny. One of them's got a lot of peppering on them. They look like they're unhappy in there. And I think you might have hit it earlier. Maybe he's not keeping the temperature up high enough in that tank because it might be a detriment to all those plants that are in there that can't be kept at where the discus like it to be. So that could be a contributing factor. But the fact that it's small fish, the fact that they're not really heavily colored, and the fact that the discus aren't doing too well, don't hate me, guys, but I gotta give it like a 5.5, something like that. That's just because it's not my cup of tea. That's it. That's all. It's just my perspective that is meaningless. That's all it
Well,
is.
that's why we do it, man. You
did
give
you
your honest
see-
opinion.
Did you see the one discus that was in the corner?
Yeah, that yellow
Yeah,
one.
the
in
yellow
the
one,
back
yeah.
Yeah.
corner.
There's like 5 discus in that tank, which
Yeah.
that's not bad. I mean, it's a 120-gallon tank. It's fine.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like if all the other fish weren't in there and overly active, they wouldn't be in the corner over there. The other ones wouldn't be, looking the way they looked. So,
Yeah, I think
I did now just see some rummy nose in there that they have pretty good color, but they're so small that I couldn't even appreciate the color they have.
Yeah, Nick, you have moved, and so maybe you changed things up. I think the biggest piece of advice that we could give on this would be to separate those discus. That tank would be amazing without them.
yeah.
And if you need those big centerpiece fish,
Get angels.
get angels. They won't care about all of the
They'll
chaos,
Chase them right back.
and it'll be a lot easier. I hope the discus are doing amazing right now. But overall presentation, I mean, we've got good equipment. We've got a really good aquascape. The plants look incredible, even though Kev's a jerk and said they don't look good. What did he say? The
Sorry.
worst he's ever seen? Something like that. But
No, we did not.
I'm just jerking her chain, Kev. But the plants look great. The aquascape looks great. The equipment is good. But it's not a perfect score. For the overall presentation, I'm not even afraid to say it. I'm going to give it a 7.5,
Oh, okay.
which might be a little strong, but hey, you're welcome, Nick, because I like you, because I really like that piece of driftwood, and I like the tiger lotus, and all of the other plants are amazing. And I hope you bought them from me.
I just can't stop seeing a discus, and that, has a lot to do with the overall presentation for me. But
It's understandable.
But I really like that scape, and I love the plants. I'm gonna go with a 7.
All right. And I'm just going to put it out there, Nick, if those discus weren't in there, I'd be talking about a strong 8 overall presentation. I'm just saying.
Definitely.
There you go. But Kev, come on, go easy now. I mean, be nice this time,
Someone said that they think that they saw the thermometer is reading at 75 degrees. That is terrible.
Well, you
That
keep
would be
talking. I'm
really
going to put it
bad.
up and we'll see. I think, are we covering it up? No, it shows up in the corner here. Go ahead and give your overall score, and we will take a look at that while you're doing it. Here it comes. It's coming.
Oh,
No, you can't tell because it's on an angle. You can't
that
tell.
green is like, yeah, I can't even read the number on there, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with like
thought they made
6.
digital.
I'm gonna give it an overall 6, just because it's not the kind of tank that I would normally keep. But my rating means nothing, bro. If you like your tank and you like your plants and you like that kind of escape thing, do you, man? Rock out.
Okay, so what we've learned here today, folks, is we better hope Kev never starts a Rate My Tank segment on his streams, because the only people that are going to get good scores are people that keep the exact same fish that he does. And
That same equipment.
that's right.
No, what's
No.
going to really be bad is when I start this new project on this 100-gallon tank right here on the right of me. That's supposed to be a planted tank.
Oh,
So
Oh.
I know I'm gonna take. I'll take all the heat when I actually start that tank because I'm gonna be brand new at doing the planted tank and scaping it. So
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'll
Kev,
take the heat.
you're a liar.
what?
I'm going to say it right to you. You're a liar. You want to know how I know that? Because I saw the video that you did. The Seachem guy or somebody came by and put a bunch of Java moss in your tank. That was you.
That was me. But now I can tell you to your face, you got a lot of catching up to do, bro. A lot has happened since then.
I didn't bring up a sore wound, did I? If you want to move past that, we can.
Do you have the video, the discus tank video I sent you? If you want to put that up, I can talk about it, exactly what happened to that.
Okay.
Because that was a beautiful looking tank when I had that planted.
I think this is one of them. I got to make yours smaller here. Okay. Well, this doesn't have the Java moss in it, but
Yes, correct.
Very nice.
that's
the
how a
tank,
discus is supposed to look, y'all.
No, it's not supposed to look like this either. Long story, but I'll keep it short. The plants that were in this tank originally when I first got it and scaped it, and Luis from Seachem came over to help me scape it. It looked amazing. It was beautiful. I thought I was in love with plants. I was like, wow, I never knew how good a tank could look with some plants in it. Apparently, I am very bad at keeping plants alive.
Oh, no.
So one by one, slowly by slowly, they started dying off. One day I kept the lights on by accident all day long. They burned them. They melted away. I went away for like a 4-day weekend. I forgot to set the timer on the tank. I just turned the lights off, so the plants had no lights at all for like 4 days. I don't know. They all ended up dying off, and I had just a couple of little specks that survived the wrath of the caveman, unfortunate plant keeping. You know, I was terrible at it. But then this tank also had a background in it, a 3D background from Aquabuilder. I had some troubles with that as well because I'm terrible at silicone as well, apparently, and it kept popping off on me. And the plants were actually installed on the background.
Right,
So
I
when
remember
I decided
that.
to remove the entire background from this tank, all the plants went with it. So now there aren't any plants in this tank anymore.
Oh, wow.
What you're seeing here now are the roots dangling in the water from the pothos that's growing above the tank. Which
Okay.
I just recently moved all those pothos from the 150-gallon tank that's behind me here because I transitioned that into a saltwater tank, but I didn't want to lose the pothos because they were beautiful, healthy, and growing. So I moved them over to the 450. I put the roots in the water. I don't like that look at all. It's not the way I want to keep it. But there's a new 3D background incoming shortly, going to be installed in this tank, and those roots will be behind that background. And then it should look the way it's supposed to look.
Okay. So what are the dimensions of that tank? That's a
This is-
460?
It's a 450. It's 96 by 36 by 29. 8 feet long, 3 feet wide, by 29 inches tall.
All right. I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something right now. That's one of my favorite tanks on
To my
YouTube
face.
right now.
Oh, okay. Good.
I'm saying it to you. I'm saying it to your face. I absolutely love that thing.
I know, it looks really good.
I absolutely
It was
love
the
it.
perfect size for exactly the space I had. It just worked out that way in this room. Like that space in the middle of my room here, it fit in there like a glove. It's perfect.
I love the trees. I mean, the discus are freaking amazing. Come on, give me a break. The geos look fantastic. I mean,
Yeah,
what
they
is there
do.
to criticize in that tank? And listen, Kev, if you were a stranger and you sent me this video, I'd be saying all of the exact same things. I mean, the arowanas don't have a scratch on them, and they're nice and healthy and fat. That red melon's making me crazy because he's so gorgeous. I love all of the discus. It's amazing. You've done
Thank you.
really well on that. It's 10s all the way across the board on that tank for me. I'm sorry, but I am definitely biased because you've got all fish that
Thank
are
you.
on my
I
list
do-
of favorites.
I do want to say something about the geos because I don't want people to think that like that just worked out very easily. I actually started this tank with the discus and geos in there, and the discus were not eating too well. The geos are like little torpedoes, and they went after all the food, and they didn't give the discus a chance to really eat well. So their growth was kind of slow. I got a great tip from a 40-year-old discus breeder. He breeds the German bloodlines. He imports them, all that good stuff. He told me quite simply, take the geos out of the tank. And I did that. I took all the geos out. I put them into my 150 when it was a freshwater tank, and the discus just blew up. They exploded. They started eating their 3 meals a day. They got really big and fat, really happy. And because I just transitioned the 150 into a saltwater, it was severums and geos in there. I gave the severums away to a friend of mine. He's got a bunch of tanks, and they're going to live a great life. But I wanted to keep my geos because I always wanted this mixture, the discus and the geo together in the tank. And now that the discus have good size, they're healthy and they're eating, I put the geos in now. Most of them are still really small, and the discus kind of smack them out of the way, and they get their fill, no problem.
No, it's absolutely gorgeous. Are those Altafrons?
So no, most of them are Savenis, including that big guy right there. He's an OG too. He's been with me for years. And that one guy right there in the middle, that's a Tapajos, a redhead Tapajos.
Okay, yeah. See, I don't know geos all that well, but Jason always talks about how the Altafrons is his favorite, and I'm
They
looking
are
at that
another
one.
very, very beautiful species. Very nice. Yes.
Yeah, it just looks fantastic, man. You've done a good job on that tank, and
What do you feed your discus?
So I feed them a mixture of stuff. I try to change up the actual texture of the food so that they don't ever get stuck to one type. So I do
Right.
flakes, pellets, frozen as well. So for
Oh.
flakes, I feed the Seachem NutriDiet flakes.
Okay.
They even have a discus formula. It's like loaded with garlic and
We sell it.
yeah, we sell it.
and then you guys know all about it.
Yeah, it's
Then
good stuff.
For pellets, I feed the Norfin sinking pellets, but they don't tend to eat it all too quickly because they're too big for their little mouths.
Okay.
So I recently switched over to Fluval's bug bites. The bug bites are like little granules,
Yeah.
and I dump the granules in, and they go to town. They can put 2 or 3 at one time, and they love it. And it's like loaded with protein, so they I guess they grow really well. And then for frozen, I do beef heart and brine shrimp, and they get
Okay.
that maybe 2 or 3 times a week, not every day.
You know what you should get? Try reach out to Hans and get his mix. It's amazing. And what you're doing is working. But
His discus wouldn't get any of it because the arowanas would eat it before they could get to it.
Yeah, that's true. 'Cause
He
it-
makes
well,
the food himself.
Are they
Yeah.
floating? Is that a floating food?
No, it's frozen and it'll
Oh.
make that red get even redder.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause I have-
I mean, I don't know that it needs to be. Look
I
how
know.
look how
That's
striking
why-
red those are.
That's why I said what you're doing is working, but his
Oh,
food
and
is awesome.
the arowana don't eat any of that stuff that I mentioned earlier because it's too small for them. So the arowana basically eat. I always want to say frozen, but it's freeze dried jumbo krill. The freeze dried from Tetra, I think it is. Freeze dried jumbo krill. They love that stuff.
That's
what
right
they
above
gobble.
Lisa's head right there.
Yeah, that's the can.
Yeah.
That's the can right there. Yep.
Yep, that's what my Oscars eat too. Not for every meal, but that's one of the things that they eat. Now that tank looks amazing, and I'm not saying that because you're a friend. I mean it. I mean that's gorgeous. I would be.
Thank you.
I
Appreciate it.
I'm kind of jealous of it now. It pisses me off that my tank is so boring, but hey, I get a lot of compliments about my tank. So, but yeah, that looks really good.
I
And
love the discus.
speaking of red, now listen again. We're an hour and a half into this, Kev. Are you trying to get out of here, or you're not going to hurt my feelings?
I thought it was only like 10 minutes so far.
It has gone pretty quick.
I'm
But
good, man.
speaking-
I'm having fun. I'll hang out with you guys for as long as you guys want to have me. I'm here.
Okay.
hanging out.
Well, you mentioned Northfin, and we got a box the other day from our good friends at Northfin. I'm not doing an advertisement because this isn't something that we sell yet.
Jinx, buy yourself some Coke.
They came out with something. We'll do that one.
I know what they
next,
came
'cause
out with.
Did they send it to you too?
I saw it too.
I'm trying to find this one in particular. First of all, I'm really excited about this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Bug Pro
me
sticks?
too.
Forget
I didn't
about
see
it.
that one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Where is it?
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, I did not know about that. Super red.
This is a 2 millimeter. That, I can't tell you how good it is. I'm sure it
Perfect for the
is
African
because
thing.
it's from Northfin, but that is, that's a new thing.
I
2
think-
millimeter. That might be too big for the discus. That's gonna be too big for the discus, I think.
No, 2
2
millimeter?
millimeter. Let me pull out a pellet. See what it looks like.
Man, I'm not opening this for you. We might give it a
Oh, it's
no, we're not gonna
unopened
give it
yet?
away.
Oh,
No,
you're not
we're
feeding it
using
yet?
it.
Fine. Look,
I
I'm
think
opening.
you should do. I think you should do a first time feeding. Yeah, go feed the fish real quick and see if they like it.
Let's see
We've
if I can
never
get
fed
it
it
to
to
focus
them.
in on.
I mean,
It's not going to focus.
looks
They're
pretty
little
small.
pellets, man. They're
I
little
thought it would be
teeny
bigger.
things.
Let me see. I can't see.
Oh,
Little
okay.
teeny pellets.
That's 2 millimeter. That looks a
Oh,
lot smaller.
that's too small for the African cichlids, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
giving that to them. But what should I? Okay, so we'll probably give them this. How much? Well, these are 2 millimeter too. Let's see. Maybe they sent me a bigger one.
Get a bigger pellet. But
This is my Oscar food right here. Forget it. That's a 500 gram bag. Thank you, Northfin. I thought they sent a big. Oh, carnivore too.
Oh,
the
yeah.
bikers for thank you for that. All right, come on. Micro sticks.
John and Lisa, don't mind my shorts.
short.
Shorts.
Oh.
Oh. You should see he's wearing the silliest shorts. Ha ha ha.
What?
These are all 2 millimeter.
Go try it.
Oh, they'll eat it. I ain't
Yeah.
afraid of them. Should we feed them that or the super mix?
Try this one first.
Like we said, this is not an advertisement.
Oh, look at you. See?
Not an advertisement.
He knows. He knows about
My
good
guys,
food.
my guys eat Norfin. My African tank is fed Norfin on the daily. That's what they eat. The African cichlid side.
Nice. Oh, yeah. I wasn't showing you. Sorry about that.
Oh.
We're sitting here looking at you, and
Yeah.
everybody's watching us looking at you.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch this camera over to that one, and I'm going to run over. Oh, my microphone isn't on over there.
Oh. And you'll get to see him feed our fish for the very first time this food because they've never had it.
I don't have the light on because I just didn't turn it on. So how about that?
Wow, it's dark.
Super red. I'm going to feed this food and the fish are going to explode with red color. That's not going to happen. Two millimeters. Y'all are going to be like, is this a joke?
Do they like it? Do they like it?
I mean, they're going for it.
Oh, should we tell everybody we haven't fed them in 5 days?
Oh, shut up.
I'm just kidding.
That is not true. Yeah, I would say they're going for it. I usually feed 3 millimeter pellets, which is significantly larger than this. But of course they go for it. Now, that might not be the best gauge because we all know Africans, they eat whatever you put in the tank. Give me the super mix.
This one?
Yep.
Try that.
Africans are not difficult to feed. Imbunas can be a little pickier. We got a tank full of them over there. And we got another new food. This one, you might not be able to see it all that well because it is so dark over here and I can't reach the light to turn it on.
Where is it?
This is Northfin Super Mix. When I saw this, I said, well, that's genius. What is it? It is a mixture of veggie, krill, and cichlid pellets. So we're going to give this to the Imbunas. Who put all this food up here?
Oh. Look at the habs and peacocks. They're like, we want more. We want more. Wow. They're not the smartest, are they? They're still trying to get the yellow lab food when they don't realize it's in their tank.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
Here, push this.
That's awesome.
So I saw you feeding, and I wanted to mention, but I was accidentally muted, I think. But
Were you?
Yeah, I was muted the whole time. When you switched to that camera, it muted me, and when you switched back, it unmuted me. But that yellow lab tank, that Mbuna tank, is amazing, bro. Like that many fish in there, the way it looks, I love the yellow. The only thing that I would add is some bluefish in there, and then you'd have caveman colors, blue and yellow. I love it.
But it's not your tank.
Yeah. But no, listen.
That's why I said that's the only thing I would do.
That is not a bad critique. However, my intention from the beginning with that tank, I called up my people at Custom Aquariums and I said, listen, I want to do a 240 specifically for yellow labs and nothing else. And so that's always been my plan for that. If I was to add bluefish in there, I agree, it would look good, but it would kind of be almost like blasphemous for me at this point because
it's all yellow.
There's never been a fish in that tank that is not a yellow lab. So we kind of have to keep it that way.
If I had to pick a favorite Mbuna of all time, it would be a yellow lab. That's the Mbuna of my choice.
Well, they're so amazing.
They're the
best.
They're nice.
I love them.
They're not like the nasty bumblebees and
They're
stuff.
known as like the least aggressive of aggressive fish, right? They're known for that. So I like that too.
Yeah, I love it. It was an idea that I had. I mean, I did that. It's 5 years old now, that tank.
Oh,
I've had that for 5 years. But I was talking about that tank for probably 2 years before I did it.
You did,
So
yeah, you were.
It was one of those things. My original intent, Kev, was to do all black. But when we moved here, we went to Chicago because our youngest son was graduating from boot camp with the Navy. And we went to the Shed Aquarium, and they had the most amazing Mbuna tank there that looked like that. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, I have to do that. These jerks think I'm going to feed them now. Look at them. They're like, hey, what about us? That's hilarious.
Look at them. They're still like looking for more food. They're like, give us more.
They're still down there searching for the food. That's adorable.
So that was the first time we ever fed that particular food by Northfin, and they loved it. So it's a 10.
And yeah, and here's the thing.
The Mbuna, the peas and haps over there, they were stuck to the side of the glass
I know.
trying to get through to the other tank.
That was so adorable, and they're crazy. You will notice if you look at this bag. Well, the camera's not going to focus on it. So this food was done in collaboration with B.O.W.L. And I saw him in the chat earlier, and I don't know if he's still here, but I bet you if he's not, he's going to be upset because he didn't get to see us show his food. And I think I did see a couple of seconds ago, did Northfin pop in and donate some memberships? Look at that. 10 memberships donated by Northfin.
Oh, don't forget.
I know there's others too, but we're talking about Northfin right now, so that makes sense. And we were talking about them before we even saw that. So that's awesome. Jason and I are recording podcasts tomorrow, and one of our guests is going to be the owner of Northfin Fish Foods. I'm really, really excited about that. So yeah, new stuff going on with Northfin. And he did say to me yesterday, if you have ideas, because this is what's different about Northfin. I know you know this, Kev, but I don't know if everybody knows this. They are the manufacturer. They don't order their food from another company and bring it in. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do like a custom mix, now you can't just call Northfin and say, I want this and that, but we are a retailer for them. We are a partner with them. And so if there's a custom thing, they can make it themselves. They wouldn't have to order that from someone else. And he asked me if I had any ideas, and I didn't. But if anybody in the chat has any ideas of what the perfect fish food should be that's not out there yet, let me know, and maybe we can get
You know what I thought
do
you
that.
were going to pop out with when you were mentioning it? I did see that Norfin has a new black soldier fly larva formula, which apparently is getting kind of popular
Is
now.
that over?
Are you talking about the Bug Pro sticks?
Well, I think it could be that one. If it's got the name bug in it, it could be that one.
Bug Pro sticks.
Is black soldier fly the first ingredient on there in the back? That might be the one then.
I'm pretty sure that's it. But
Yeah, it is. Black
Yeah,
soldier
that's
fly larvae.
Okay, that's the one I saw recently.
you might be talking about this
No,
one.
he's talking
the Bug
about
Pro.
this.
Well, I know, but I'm saying
Norfin.
if
Is
you're
that
talking
Norfin?
about Bug Pro, that's not new. That's been around for a while.
Well, he said the first ingredient is black soldier fly larvae.
Well, it is in
Do you
this
see
too.
that? Do you see? You see?
Yep.
So
Is
is
that other-
this.
Is that other one Norfin as well? The one you're holding
Yes,
on?
both of them are. Yeah.
Let me read it.
She just wants to be smart. She wants to be the smart one here, which we all know she is. But
That says
I'm not the only one that needs reading glasses.
it's so little.
That's what she said.
But that's not what it says. But it's he's talking about this one. I see it.
That is the one I was talking about. Correct.
This
It
is a
is.
new stick that they just came out with, and that is really exciting. I should have thrown some of this in there. They would have eaten it because Africans, they'll eat anything, but the true test is when you see how they react to it. If their colors brighten up, if they get happier and all of that kind of stuff, which they always do with Northland Foods. So, yeah, super excited about the new stuff, and super excited to have the owner of Northfin on the podcast. That's going to be amazing. So,
Oh, you said Bug Pro.
yeah. Well, see, that's what I was wondering if Kev was saying this one, and I'm like, this is not new, but it's great. We can't keep it in stock. It's actually frustrating because,
But this is Bug Pro stick.
yeah, we're going around in circles here.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just stop.
So listen, Kev, we've got 15 minutes left, and this is typically when we would go through our super chats and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know if you want to stick around for that. It's probably a little boring for you. I'm not trying to kick you off. I'm just, you'd be the first guest that's been on the entire time.
And
So
I have thank you.
Well,
to say too.
I don't want to stick around for your super chats because I'm sure your super chat people want to get the direct contact from you with you. So I will say that I had a great time. This was the fastest hour and 45 minutes I've ever spent on a live stream. It was very enjoyable hanging out with you guys. Thank you for letting me talk my product stuff for a little bit. And you didn't have me on camera before, but I wanted to show it now that John's not lying. This has nothing to do with an advertisement. I keep Norfin as well, and I feed my African cichlids Norfin as well.
Awesome.
So it's very good food. I agree 100%. But I had a good
Okay.
time. Thanks for letting me on and hanging out with you guys.
hey, no problem. It was a
fun.
lot of fun. I wasn't expecting to have you on this long, but when you're having so much fun, it's like, oh, all of a sudden you're an hour and 45 minutes into it. So
Agreed,
I
agreed.
very much appreciate it, and we can certainly do it again sometime.
You let me know. You got my number. You shoot me a text. We'll set it up.
Cool. All right, brother. Well, thank you
Have a
so
good
much.
night.
John, Lisa, have a good night. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Very cool.
That was fun.
Yeah. Big ups to Kev.
Wow.
I've never said big ups in my life. I don't know why those words came out of my mouth. Big thank you to Caveman Aquatics. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
And I'm so jealous of his tanks. I got to be
know,
honest, it's
they
kind of
look
pissing
great.
me off. I kind of regret having him on and bringing on tanks that look better than mine. But hey, it is what it is. Real quick, 492 votes on the true or false. That's might be a new record. Fish won't eat their own fry. True said 3%. False said 48%. Depends on the fish, 49%. Where do you land on this?
I said, wait, fish won't eat their own fry. I said false. Because I think any of them will eat their own fish, their own fry. You might have newbies that do it, that typically don't do it after they've bred a few times, but I think they are all capable of eating their own fry.
They are. And, you know, I was going to vote depends on the fish. But I agree with you.
Especially if they're young, they don't know any better.
I think any fish is capable of doing that. So yeah, I agree with the 48% false, and I'm not doing that just to get brownie points. I'm already the luckiest man alive, married to her. What? I don't need to do brownie points anymore.
Silly.
But yeah, I agree with that because even the fish, like, you don't typically hear about discus eating their babies. In fact, discus are known to be very good to their
parents.
fry.
But if they're too young,
and in the right circumstances, they'd rather eat their own fry than have them get eaten by somebody else. So yeah, I mean, it is very much dependent on the fish. But yeah, I'm going to vote false on that too. Kev just texted me. I wonder if he's. Oh no, I was going to say I wonder if he's saying true or false. But let's get to this real quick because we do have some catching up to do, and I apologize. We were having so much fun with Kev that we didn't get to the super chats. Adolfo Prieto re-upped, and that is 3 years.
Wow,
he's been with
awesome.
us.
Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah,
I know he's difficult.
I definitely am, but not difficult during members only streams. Those are a lot of fun. Last week was 3 hours.
Yeah.
Melissa Jeswald, folks, I need your best wishes. My son, Dill and daughter-in-law, not Dill, and grandkitty are in the fire zone in LA. Oh no.
Ooh.
I'm texting them hour by hour and I'm scared to death.
Wow, that's
I don't blame
terrible, Melissa.
That state is on fire right now. That is terrifying.
And you're in the opposite. You're where it's freezing.
Yeah. I feel for you.
I'm sure it's difficult to go there too, like you would, but it's just difficult to be able to just.
And there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You're on the other side of the country, and it's like, what am I? Yeah, definitely. All the well wishes for sure.
I'll check on you, Melissa, and find out what's going on.
Z-Man181 became a brand new member. Welcome to the team. Don't forget to check in on the members only streams. Ricardo Carrillo with a $1.99 super chat. Nothing else to say. Just here's some money. Thank you. That is very nice of you for that. Michelle Prang became a new member. So many new members tonight. Welcome to the team. Dennis gifted 5 memberships because that's what Dennis does. I stole it from you. I wasn't going to let you say it this time.
Thank you, Dennis.
Northfin, again, thank you so much for donating the 10 memberships. Looking forward to talking to you tomorrow. Mama Bear Moore gifted 5 memberships. This is a...
Wow, thank you.
This is a gifted membership party here tonight. Marine Josh, have you played Marvel Rivals? No. But I downloaded it.
Oh.
But I have not played it.
I think we should do a giveaway. We should do a Northfin giveaway.
Let's do it.
We have to do that.
High Performance Trucking, good evening to you, my friend. Member for 2 years. Look at that. She does this. She decides in the middle of the stream she's going to do a giveaway. But, guess what? It's in the title, so we got to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we're giving away. Not this stuff. Because our fish like it.
It's ours.
Our fish like it a lot. All right, I want to give away these kelp wafers because I love kelp. I'm not going to say I love them, but everything I feed these to, love them. I feed these to my snails. I feed these to my shrimp. I feed these to my cory cats, to my plecos. Everything loves kelp wafers. I can't even get it out. They're starting to wear on me.
I know.
Saying things Also, Krill Pro. My angelfish love this. My angelfish. I even feed it to my goldfish once in a while. Let's see, what else? Oh, African cichlids. I'll feed it to them. But primarily I've been feeding this a lot more to my angelfish. They really love it. And then Bug Pro.
Look at that.
Gotta give away some Bug Pro because everything needs the Bug Pro. All my guppies eat the Bug Pro. If my guppies are super small and they're babies, I give them the Fry Starter by Northfin. They love that. But okay, so thing is with Fry Starter, I think they're changing the name or something, or it went out like discontinued, but they're changing it. It's something like that, but we're still selling it. We still have some. It's not expired. I would definitely get some if you wanted that, because it's great stuff. But yeah, I feed this to my community fish and the guppies for sure, and whatever falls to the bottom, the snails eat it. So yeah.
Everybody wins. Everybody eats.
This, yay.
So the rules are you have to live in the United States, you have to be in the chat, and you have to say something in the chat. You can say anything you want. The Nightbot app, which is what picks the winner, selects from people who have submitted comments in the last 15 minutes. So get them in now. She has a couple of people to thank, and
Yes.
while she does that, we will let them tally up so that you can get your entries in. All you got to do is comment. That's it. I mean, I could make you be a subscriber, but I don't know how to do all that. So,
All right, so I have a few people to thank because you have so graciously sent donations to my for my cats through the Amazon wish list that I have for them, and I really appreciate it. They're eating really well because of you guys. I want to thank Robert Wayman. Thank you so much, and also thank you for the cat tower. It's gonna look so good in the back of the barn when I have the whole thing finished, so that they can all live back there. My new little cat rescue for them.
and the other thing, Robert, you know,
yes,
you know what I'm thanking you for.
Thank you.
Thank you for that too.
I like it a lot, and I do wear it. I promise. Joe Provenzano, thank you so much for the kitty food. I appreciate it, and so did the cats. And you did not have to do that. And
He spoils us.
you explained why you did it, but you didn't have to do that. It's okay. I really like the stamp that you got me, and just because the other one didn't come in didn't mean you had to go do that. But thank you very much. And then I want to say thank you to
Shouldn't be
Lisa.
hard to remember this one.
Lisa Marie. She has the same name as me. We've talked in Discord before. She sent me this. Thank you. It's so cute. I love it. It's going in my office.
You're going to have to read it because people can't see what it
says. I work hard so my cat can have a better life.
That is cute.
It's kind
going-
of hard to see because of the glare.
Going
But
right
thank
on the
you.
desk.
Thank
it
you
better
so
go
much.
right on the desk.
Yes, it is.
All right, we've got 5 minutes left. Y'all have been putting in work in the chat, so now is the time. Understand how this works.
Who's it going to be?
All I do is push a button. The website picks a winner. I don't pick this winner. You have to respond in the chat that is you, and also let me know that you live in the United States, because I could not differentiate. So it might pick somebody that doesn't live in the United States, and for that, I'm sorry. But Matthew Knowlton.
Oh, awesome.
We've seen that name before.
Duh.
Matt,
Congratulations.
did I say Matthew? Did I
think
say
you did.
Matthew?
Wow.
Matt's probably, it's short for Matthew anyway,
I'll start
right?
calling you Jonathan.
Matt Knowlton, but my name is not short for Jonathan.
It
There
could
he is,
be.
right there. And I know you are a United States resident, correct? Resident? Because I believe Matt Knowlton is a customer of ours, I think. And that makes my life so much easier. And let me know in the chat, Matt, if you are, because if you are, you don't need to contact me or nothing. We'll just send it because I'll already have all of your information. I've been so lucky. So many of our giveaway winners have indeed been customers. That's not planned. It just works out really well.
And I'll pack it up tomorrow and send it out to you because Friday is my day to do the packing.
And I did get asked a question a second ago by Brent Russell said, speaking of members only stream, is there one tomorrow? There is not. And I apologize for that. But I think I have a pretty good reason why. Jason and I are recording podcasts tomorrow. This is the time of year where he needs to do it on Fridays. And so the entire day is blocked out for tomorrow for recording the podcast. So not going to be able to do the member stream tomorrow. And I don't want to do them all on Fridays anyway. I want to mix it up because some people aren't able to get in on Fridays or whatever.
You should do a Saturday one.
Yeah, I mean, Saturday there'll probably be a lot more people available for them. But we've been getting a good turnout in member streams anyway. The last stream, we installed 2 canister filters on this tank.
We did. I didn't do that.
Me and the members.
Oh, I cleaned your mess up.
And that, no, you did not.
Yeah, I did.
No, anyway, and that's why that tank looks so sparkling clean now, is because it has the 2 shark whale CJ Whale 500s in there. It was a lot of fun on that stream. We called Jay Wilson live and everything. It was a good time. Julie's Jewel Art, just because, super chatted $5. Thank you
That's
so much
sweet.
for that, Julie. Did I get an answer from Matt
Yeah,
about?
yeah, because his wife Mary always spoils him on our website.
Perfect. Okay, so yes, he is a so you're telling me he's a customer then, so that's perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Beautiful. Yes, my what? Perfect. See, that's not done intentionally, folks. I promise there is no shenanigans going on there. It just kind of works out that way, and it makes my life easier. I like that. So 2 minutes away from sending everybody over to the Primetime Aquatics live stream. Jason will probably text me within the next couple of minutes. He texts me after he clicks the live button. What?
I wanted to tell my story about my goldfish.
Do it quick. You got 2 minutes.
Y'all, I had something crazy happen today. I was in here doing like cleaning up after John from Saturday or Friday's live stream.
Cleaning up after her cats.
No, I was cleaning up after you. But anyway, I was doing water changes and stuff and cleaning the glass on all the aquariums and cleaning the algae in your tanks too and stuff. And I went over to my goldfish tank and I wanted to clean the algae on the glass starting from the left back side and go around. So I go to the left of the goldfish tank in the very back and I go to start cleaning it and I look. And I'm not sure if you've seen, like, not everybody has seen my goldfish tank, but the way I scaped it with all of the rocks and the driftwood, it's siliconed in so that I can't lift a rock up off of it. And so, anyway, one of my goldfish that are like this big now was somehow wedged and stuck in between 2 rocks back in the corner. And I was like, oh my gosh. I can't lift the rocks up, to get them off and all that. So I was like, oh boy. I get in there, move the lid, and these are heavy lids, trying to get him out, and there's just no way because he's like in there and just not a whole lot of room to, get to him. So I was like, crap, what am I going to do? So I had to get some escaping tweezers, well, forceps.
Sure. They're big tweezers.
Yeah, the long ones. And I was able to get down in there because they're curved, and I got the very back of his tail and just gently pulled him out. And like, he did not have any room to wiggle. I knew he was alive, but I was like, crap, I don't even know how long he's been in there. So I started to pull him out, and I pulled him out, and then he just swam away. And I was like, yay, I saved him.
I was so
happy.
worried that like part of his tail was going to pull off
Well,
or
I
something.
did it very gently.
He came out very nice. Didn't put up a fight at all. So that was.
I caught him right in the nick of time.
I was very proud of you for that. You saved his life. You're a
And
hero.
then I made it to where he can't get back. None of them can go in that one spot again. So I wedged a rock in there.
So the hashtag when we all go over to Primetime Aquatics is Lisa's a hero.
No.
Yeah, she's a hero.
No.
So you don't have to do anything. If you want to go hang out at the Primetime Aquatics live stream, all you've got to do is nothing. because you will immediately be redirected over there after this one. So say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Go over there, have a great time, and tell Joanna and Jason we said hello.
And make sure you say Lisa is a hero. Thanks again to Caveman Aquatics for hanging out with us. That was a good time.
That was a lot of fun.
We'll see you all next week.
See you next week.